Hi, I'm Cindy Vogt. I am originally from North Dakota and I grew up on a farm, moved to Minnesota, and just a few years ago I moved from Minnesota here to Seoul, South Korea.
I grew up really in a very small farming community. I was 10 miles from town. We did not have a lot of money. I grew up in hand-me-downs. I would tell people that and what we grew out of the garden. That's kind of how I would define my life at that time. Did without a lot of things. And that's also made it, in some ways, a lot easier living here. One of the first biggest challenges that I had living here was just how to take care of my family's needs and getting from point A to point B. Transportation, and I didn't know where things went, and I didn't know enough of the language to take a taxi, and also just being able to find enough groceries that I could use to make things that I was familiar with. You also live without a lot of things that you grew accustomed to, and just the style of being able to shop. The little, the ingredients that you would like to make your favorite food and things like that that were available where I was from. So it's been interesting. I shop at a grocery store now, most often. That's about the same size as the one I grew up shopping in. I get very frustrated when I can't get someplace quickly, unless I'm walking, of course. I like to do stuff at the last minute sometimes, but that's just nearly impossible here. The only last minute things that you can do is if you have friends in the neighborhood and go to coffee at the last minute, or if you're all in the same neighborhood together. Well, the hardest thing here is that I can sometimes get depressed because the city feels very closed in for someone who's from the country, who's used to wide open spaces in North Dakota. You eventually come to a point where this is your new normal. And you just learn how to embrace that. I've learned to cope with the negatives and appreciate the positives living here. I would probably have to say the thing that I've learned the most is patience, and lots of it. At the end of the day, this is all training, the position that you're supposed to have as an adult. So, in that being said, I will say one thing. You can take the girl out of the country, but you can never take the country out of the girl.